Hello and welcome, dearest, and today we have the new polish, the set of Fruity Cutie, and yes, these do look to me very similar to others, but I can't figure out which ones, and I have to go still get all my stuff together so that I can, coordinate everything. So if you saw the Maniology's unveiling of this, then you probably already have an understanding of what's going on. Oh, we did a boo-boo on that. I'm gonna have to fix that really quick. Nope, don't fall. Where did I put it? Right there. Okay, so I did do a really quick, I had to wait for them to settle so that I could do the video, and I just in the process of setting this off and having it prepped and ready to go, somehow something got nudged on it, and there's issues with the polish having not streaks, but something touched it and it had a mush messed up. That no, not on the backs of those. Alright, I don't know what we did. That's okay. There's always something, and this is the nature of life. There's always an issue and messes, and well, trying not to make more. But anyway, so I'm just using these plates that I have already used before. This plate is M397. I believe it's the swirls for the French. This is M35. Start over. M397 and M357. So swirls came out first, then they came out with the French in the swirls. I just want to do those for demo purposes so we can test out the polishes. There is an up close and personal so that you can see them, and they are a lot cuter than I thought they were, but yeah, they do resemble others, and I'll have to I still did it again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I have to be very careful with that one because there you go. So the first one is a strawberry blush B515. You can get these, I believe, individually, or you can get them for a better price in the 3-piece set. So if there's a color you just really absolutely hate, don't want, and you just want to get other colors, well then there you go. This is 1 in a melon B516 for this shade. And the stickers tend to come off on some of the polishes, and when they do, I have struggled to figure out how to redo because I have put them back more times than I care to count, and they don't like to stay on the bottoms. And I think their bottles or something changed, and there's now, because it never used to be in the previous bottles when I started with Maniology, the dents or something underneath, and I'm wondering if that's the case of the bottles that they have those on or the ones that come off. But I've had others, and oh well. I just found that sticking it on the glass, it tends to stick and stays a lot better, and I don't have to add anything else to it. The caps I have, that doesn't stick to those as well, and I still have to put tape or something, so that's just my take. But back to, and then this one is Apricot Kisses, and there's that one up close and more personal. It in person, see, I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking what it shows. It's more of an orange leaning peach color than it is. Yeah, it looks more apricot. It basically on the camera it looks very pale for this one. These ones kind of look true to form, but this one not so much. And then this is cloudy and straight up black. And I just kind of wanted to do my little thing on playing with the polishes and polishing those and doing the tops, because again, I don't like to These, for beginners or newbies, whatever the case, these are what they call swatch labels. So basically you can do a plate sticker, a plate image on the top of the sticker, and that way you can see how the polish works over the differences of the white or the black, and how well the polish stamps in that regards. But to me, that really doesn't tell me what I need to know about the polish. And when they're, on the tops of here, which is why you see all of my shades have the bigger smudgies on them, because I want to see the color. I want to know what color I'm looking for, and it's a lot easier to see and pick out the shade with the big smush. So essentially, I just take a drop of the polish on, as you can see, there's the mess. I take a drop of the polish on one of my stampers and just kind of smush it down. And that way I don't have to mess with it, because it's just way easier to do that. And so that's just my whole take. Other people like to swatch the tops, and that kind of frustrates this. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to do this. That's why I'm over here having indecisions on which way I'm going to go. And I think we're going to do the bigger ones. I don't know. Actually I did figure out what I'm going to do. What I originally thought I wanted to do and planned to do, and we're going to go back to that. And I just realized how I want to do it. So there is the pink, the green, and the orange. And what I'm going to do is stamp the other two colors on those ones so you can kind of see how they work. And I'm going to use a Frenchie. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do this one, I think. And where's my scraper and my stamper? And did I not? No, I didn't. Oh well, so we'll just have to be... yes, this will work. You just have to kind of get how you get it. Don't worry if you're a newbie and you're like, how did she do that? Yeah, eventually you'll get it. It's one of those things that, yes, helps be in camera. Okay, I can already tell you that this green does not stamp really well on top of the pink. For me, it's the differences in how other people grade in the shade of the color from light to dark and how well the polish works. I love the cream finish. I like the way it works. So these would be great for base colors, but I also grade on how well do the colors contrast or pop, stand out, the definition of the color from the base color and the stamping shade. So the pink as your base color, the green does not show up very well. And we might see how it works differently on the other colors. And we'll just go from there. And again, use more polish than you think you might. Don't try to skimp, because the idea is that if you try to skimp, you're not going to get the process to work as well as you hoped it would. So, trying to line this up, stamping across. And the best thing on stamping, especially on tips and other things that you're doing and or your nails, is if you lay it down, don't just instantly. And some people, like the ladies, when they do their Tuesday lives, will tell you they are what they call Hulk smashers, that they will take their process and let's see, trying to move this out of the way. As you take your scraper, depending on the intricacies and the definition of the plate, the images, everything you're doing, how you hold your scraper matters. So there's a different angle that you go across. If you have more of a blank space, so there is an image that doesn't have there's an etching on here that has an image, but it doesn't have grooves of an image. And whoops, I'm sorry. Where's the one I'm going to show you so you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so like on this one, you have the etching of the metal, but there's no image. On these are what they would consider a blank space, these triangles and these parts right here. These are images you can stamp. The only problem is that when you stamp those ones, you have to do a very light touch, and it's a level, almost level with the plate that you are bringing it in whichever direction you're going. It is a gentle, you are taking off the barest minimum or you won't get a good pickup. These ones like this, where they have more of an etching, you can do more of an angle where it's more straight up. You're never going to go straight across. You always want to be at a 45 or less angle, and it's one of those things that you are just going to have to play. It's like learning how to drive a clutch is different than learning how to drive a standard automatic car. When you're learning how to use that other foot, you physically have to just learn the timing of when to switch the gears and the foot action and the hand action. It's something you physically, muscle memory, have to learn how to do. So there's that. And the peach is, yeah, I didn't see that there's the image on the bottom of the plate number, and I got that straight in the middle, but that's okay, I can fix it. So we're gonna move this along the ways. So we did the green on the pink. We're gonna do the orange and the pink over the green, and it's pretty much probably going to be about the same concepts of things. And yes, like the ladies say, when you're doing a video, even though this is not live, you still kind of have the same brain, where did you go, as you're trying to think, and it's kind of like walking, talking, and chewing bubblegum. Yeah. Coordination. Where do I go next? And especially if you're an introvert, and I am like classic, yeah, I do not do well in crowds. So as I was saying, if you're stamping on this and you get your image, that when you go to do the pickup, I like the roll process, but it's to the point that I do it so fast it probably doesn't look like that. If you're smashing straight down, well, that's interesting that the other polish picked up the strip that had the green on it, and because it's green on green, it shows, but it really doesn't show. It's kind of funny. So we did the orange, now we're going to do the pink. And as much as you possibly can, yes, you want to close up the lids to your bottles of polish, because you don't want them to dry out. Because essentially it's not necessarily that they're actually drying out, it's the elements of what goes in the polish. There's things that evaporate, and as they evaporate, then your polish gets chunky and clunky and then you have to buy thinner. So as you're going down to stamp your image, it's a very put it where you want it, line it up, and then if you roll around, then it's kind of like how as a kid you did those fake tattoos, the vinyl as it's going to come off, because yes, this does have a very vinyl feel to it. So as it's kind of, parts might not come up, and if you just kind of keep rolling back and forth, sometimes that will stick, but it works better if you have a fresh coat. And I did just paint these recently, but sometimes you need to give things another coat, because they don't always, like I said, as they sit and dry, they tend to have less of the sticky, and that's where that sticky base coat, if you're a beginner, will work and help in your application of things. And I am saying these things for if someone comes across and you are a new beginner seeing this as a new video, or for other people who down the road might pick up this video later on. Tips and tricks for beginners along the way. Always, always, always. Next. Now there's something else I wanted to share. But it escapes me, because that's the way the brain works. You can only hold on to so many ideas at a time. I think it's 7. And once you get to the 8th idea, then your brain goes boops and dumps everything out. So, scraper, do that, pick up that. We got a good pickup. We're going to get this. Hopefully this is dry enough. Yes, it is. We're going to do the stamp. There's that. Put that back. Then we need the green. Move that over there. See all the steps? This is literally the chatter in my brain. Even when I'm quiet. I have one of those brains that there was a lady that went and asked her husband, when you go to do things, what do you hear in your mind? And he's like, nothing. Like, she's like, okay, well, when you go to go brush your teeth, do you hear the steps? And he's like, no, I just brush my teeth. And she's like, oh my God, there's always stuff going on in my head. It's like, I can't not have, like, it's talking about the instructions of things of step 1, step 2. And yeah, my brain is like that computer language of, so I hope that's there. That seems like the spot